A day at the park. A family bonding story. Hello. My name is Lisa, and I'd love to share a heartfelt story from one of the most beautiful days my family and I recently spent together. Sometimes, the simplest moments can leave the most lasting impressions. This story is about a day that felt like a treasure, filled with laughter, love, and togetherness. Planning the day. It was a quiet Sunday morning, and the house was filled with the smell of pancakes and coffee. My husband, Jake, sat at the dining table, reading the newspaper, while our 7-year-old daughter, Emma, colored in her favorite sketchbook. I stood by the kitchen window, looking out at the bright sunshine, and the idea suddenly came to me. Let's spend the day outdoors. When I suggested a trip to the park, Emma's face lit up with excitement. "Can we take my kite, Mom?" she asked eagerly. Jake smiled and nodded, folding the newspaper. "It's been a while since we had a day just for us," he said. The drive to the park. On our way to the park, the car was filled with cheerful chatter. Emma couldn't stop talking about her kite, describing how high it would soar. Jake and I exchanged smiles, happy to see her so excited. The gentle breeze through the car windows carried the scent of blooming flowers, and the sunshine felt like a promise of a perfect day. As we neared the park, we saw families strolling, kids playing, and the occasional jogger passing by. The sight of the lush green trees and the sound of birds chirping filled our hearts with anticipation. Finding our spot. We found a cozy spot under a big oak tree, with just enough shade to keep us cool. Jake laid out the picnic blanket while Emma ran ahead to explore. She quickly returned, holding a handful of daisies she had picked, her eyes sparkling with joy. "Let's fly the kite now," Emma said, tugging at Jake's arm. He laughed and agreed, pulling the brightly colored kite from the bag. Flying the kite. Watching Emma and Jake fly the kite was magical. The way the kite danced in the wind, climbing higher and higher, mirrored Emma's laughter echoing across the park. She held the string tightly, her little hands trembling with excitement as the kite soared. "Look, Mom! It's touching the clouds!" she exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. I couldn't help but smile as I captured the moment on my phone. It was one of those scenes that would stay in my heart forever. A simple but special meal. After a while, we sat down for lunch. I had packed sandwiches, fruits, and Emma's favorite cookies. There's something about eating outdoors that makes everything taste better. Jake shared funny stories from his childhood, and Emma giggled uncontrollably, her face smeared with cookie crumbs. As we ate, A squirrel approached us, its tiny nose twitching. Emma squealed with delight and offered it a piece of her sandwich. The squirrel took it and scampered away, leaving Emma amazed. An unexpected moment. Later in the afternoon, Emma discovered a little pond at the edge of the park. She was thrilled to see ducks swimming gracefully and wanted to feed them. We found some crumbs, and she stood at the water's edge, tossing them gently. One duck waddled up close, and Emma turned to me, her face glowing. "They're so beautiful, Mom. Do you think they're happy?" Her question made me pause. I looked at her, then at Jake, and I realized that happiness is exactly what we were feeling in that moment. Pure, simple, and complete. Heading home, as the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, we packed up our things and started walking back to the car. Emma held Jake's hand, humming a tune she had made up, while I walked beside them, feeling a quiet contentment. On the drive home, Emma fell asleep in the back seat, her kite resting on her lap. Jake reached over and held my hand. "This was a good day," he said softly. I nodded, my heart full. Reflecting on the day. When we got home, Emma went straight to her room, hugging her kite. As Jake and I cleaned up, I couldn't help but think about how much this day meant to us. It wasn't about doing something extravagant or going somewhere far. It was about being together, sharing laughs, and creating memories that would last a lifetime. Sometimes, it's the little things. A trip to the park, a picnic under a tree, a child's laughter, that remind us of what truly matters. This day will always hold a special place in my heart. It was a day of love, connection, and the kind of joy that only family can bring. What about you? Do you have a simple but unforgettable day with your family? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging stories to boost your English skills.